Sunday and welcome back to my channel. So this week we're going to be doing some really fun kitchen decor DIYs, and these are going to be both functional DIYs and aesthetic. So they're going to add to kind of that pretty factor of your home, but they're also going to be really useful. So this week I have two DIYs that I've been wanting to do for a little while now. I've had the supplies for them and the idea for them and just haven't gotten around to doing it. And this is kind of in my journey to update the kitchen a little bit and make it more in line with the look that I want for my home. The first one is going to be adding a lighting element to the kitchen, and we're going to add this above the sink where we have those shuttered windows. The second DIY that we're going to be doing is taking a cutting board and making a really beautiful checkerboard pattern on it that is not only pretty but it still allows you to use the cutting board. If you are interested in seeing how those turn out and doing those DIYs with me, then make sure to stick around and watch this video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can see more of my videos. I put out new videos every single Sunday. We would love to have you join us, and we are going to get right into our first DIY. So for our first DIY, we're going to be making our checkerboard cutting board. And I've actually seen a few other people do this on like TikTok and things like that. And I think it's really cute and such a fun decor piece for your kitchen, and something that you could have out on display or in like a cutting board rack that really just kind of adds like a little something extra to your kitchen decor. But the thing that I always notice with the way that people are doing it is that their cutting board ends up being purely decorative because they paint or stain their checkerboard pattern onto their cutting board, which makes it no longer food safe, so you can't use it as a cutting board. For me, I do get having things that are purely decorative, but when it comes to something like a cutting board, I want to be able to use it, and I don't want to have to monitor when guests or friends or family are over to make sure that they don't use this cutting board and get themselves sick. I was thinking about how we could make that kind of design and still allow it to be functional. And I thought that we could use butcher block stain. So butcher block stain is totally food safe, and it's going to stain our wood, and we can restain it whenever we want to or need to. Still use it as a cutting board or charcuterie board or whatever you want to use it for. For this DIY, you just need three things. You need a cutting board. I would try to go on the lighter side with the cutting board because you are going to be staining your checkered pattern on, so you don't want to have to, kind of fight a dark wood stain to make it show up. So I got this one at Marshall's for like $8, I think. You can really get them anywhere. You can use one you already have. If you have one that's kind of beat up and you want to make it look a little bit new again, this would be a great way to do that. You're also going to need some painter's tape so that you can mark off your checkered pattern, and then butcher block oil. I'm using hazelnut as the shade for mine, and I'm hoping it's going to be dark enough. We can always apply more than one coat if not, but that's all you need. To start off, all we need to do is mark off our checkerboard pattern using our painter's tape. And so the way you want to do this is to try to get your lines as straight as possible. I'm going to pretty much go with the wood grain that I have here because I know that it's already straight. And we're going to press it down so that no stain can get through. And depending on the wood and the grain and everything that you have going on, you may get a little bit of bleeding with the stain, but it really shouldn't be too bad. So I'm not super worried about it. If that bothers you, then you could always keep it purely decorative and go the painted route, and then you won't have to worry about that. What I'm going to do is take a piece of tape and line it up right next to the one that I just put down, and then put my next piece. That way I can make sure everything is evenly spaced out and I don't have to worry about measuring. So we'll put down this next piece and then we'll peel up the one in the middle and we'll do it again. And that's going to give us perfectly even spacing. That's the width of our tape. Like that. And then I'm just going to wrap it around the edges to help protect the stain from leaking through even more. Okay, so it should be looking something like this. And then we're going to go the other way with our pattern. Now we have it all taped off, and what we're going to do is we're going to stain all these open spaces, and then we'll let it dry, and then we'll put our painter's tape over the parts that we stained to make the other half of the checkerboard pattern. For example, if we're staining here and here, then the second time around we're going to stain here to kind of make it checkerboard, if that makes sense. And you'll see as we go, if that's a little bit confusing, how it's going to kind of piece together, but it's really, really simple. Just start with this first step and then it'll make sense as we go. We're just going to shake this up and then we'll paint all the open spaces on our board and let them dry. And I also got some new lights to try and make the video quality a little bit better. So if it's looking a little bit clearer or crisper, definitely leave me a comment and let me know, because I want to kind of try and improve video and sound quality wherever I can. So I would love to get that feedback if you're noticing a difference. Alright, so I got a little paintbrush and I'm going to use that to apply. I just think it's going to give me a little bit more control, and I'm just hoping that it doesn't bleed, but we shall see. So I'm going to press the tape down really well to kind of make sure there's no gapping, and then we're just going to go for it. So this says that you can stain it 6 hours after you do the first coat. You can do a second coat. I'll probably do it before then, to be honest with you, but that's what it recommends so that it fully soaks in and everything like that. So we'll just give it a nice good coat like that, and I can already tell that I'm going to be doing 2 coats because I want it to be darker than this. I want it to be a little bit more like an ebony wood kind of color, not full black, but like a really, really dark brown. So I'm going to do my first coat and then we'll let it dry and do a second coat before we retape and move on to the other squares. Super simple, and like I said before, this is butcher block oil slash stain. It's kind of considered both, so it's totally food safe. This is what people stain their butcher block countertops with. You can absolutely cut on this and eat from this without any risk at all, which is really nice because this is the only thing that I've seen that you can stain wood with and have it still be food safe. We're gonna move on to the second DIY sort of project where I want to add in some lighting into our kitchen. We have a spot in our kitchen over the sink where we have shuttered windows and they're really, really pretty, but I always feel like above the window, something's missing. I don't fully know what to do with the space. It's just kind of like an awkward area for me, and I feel like I really, really like how the window looks during the holidays when I have a garland there, but the rest of the year you can't really just leave up a garland, and I just don't know what to add to make it make sense with the rest of the house and with the kitchen and not just be a big empty space. I was thinking that we could put some lighting above the windows to kind of tie it all together and then also just add a little bit of light in the kitchen. If you've been around on the channel, you know that I love a good sconce. So I ordered a couple of sconces for in the kitchen, and I just think it's going to be really pretty. I think it's going to add some character, give us a little bit of extra light in the evenings when the sun's going down and we don't have the light coming through the window. So yeah, I think it's going to be really nice. So let me show you the light I got. So this is the light. It looks like this when it's up on the wall. The cool thing about this light is that you can move this to make it kind of like a spotlight wherever you want in the room. This light is a hardwired light. I do not have hard wiring run to that part of the kitchen, nor do I feel like doing that. So oftentimes when I have this situation, what I'll do is use a rechargeable light bulb in the sconce and just remote turn it on and off and charge the bulb as needed. This time around, I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to add on some plugs to go with the sconce so that we can just flip it on and off from an outlet next to the sink. We actually have outlets on both sides of the sink, so it's kind of perfect to tack the cable and run it to those plugs so that it's hidden, but we still have electricity and I don't have to worry about recharging those bulbs whenever they burn out. It's honestly really, really, really easy. So this is a great hack if you want to do something like this and you don't want to add hard wiring, but you do have an outlet. You can get a cable like this, and I'll link it below for you guys so that you can get these if you want or see what they're called. But basically they are just plug-in cables. They have a little on-off switch, and then they have their two neutral and live wires on the end, and so all you have to do is twist it and connect it to the wires that already exist to be hardwired. You plug it in and it's good to go. So it literally takes seconds and it completely solves the problem of not having electricity run to that space. And then we'll have some sconces in the kitchen that will kind of pull that space together and make it really pretty. It has these two little caps on the end, and we're just going to pop those off. You don't need those caps, you can throw them away. What you do need is two of these little orange caps that it comes with. The light comes with these. And I actually got this light off of Temu, which is like a Shein type website. I hadn't really ordered much from them before, but I thought I'd give it a go because sconces can be fairly expensive. And I got a set of these for I think $25, and they are great quality. This is like a nice metal. It's a really pretty polished brass, hardwired, and this is a ribbed glass. Like, it's a heavy glass. I'm very impressed with the quality of this. I'm not sure if it's still on the website, but if it is, I'll link it for you guys. And I also have a discount code if you are interested in getting anything from them, so I'll link all of that in the description box. Definitely a good deal if you're looking for something like this. I did not expect it to be this nice. To attach your wires, you're just going to pull out these two wires right here, the black and the white, which is your live and neutral. You don't need the ground for this because this plug that I have doesn't have a ground connector. And we're just going to pull these apart a little bit like that, pop the caps off this guy, and then it doesn't matter which one of these you use to connect. You just pick one, stick them side by side like that, and literally just twist them together. And you just twist them really tight so that they're touching the whole way down, and take one of your little caps and twist it on until it's really nice and snug like that. And then we'll do the same thing for the other side. Okay, so now that we have our wires connected, we're gonna go ahead and attach the glass base and the light bulb so that it's all ready to go when we pop it onto the wall. To do that, you're just gonna take this little guy on the bottom. There's two of these. You take the bottom one and just spin it off like that. Spin the other one all the way to the top so it's nice and snug. You'll put your glass piece on so that it's sticking out the base like that, and then all you do is re-screw on your little cap. And you just wanna get it nice and snug so that it doesn't wobble around like this. I have a difficult time doing that because I have long nails, so I'm gonna recruit Matt to tighten that, but just make sure that you tighten it really well so your glass piece doesn't fall off randomly. And then we'll just put our light bulb in and we'll go and hang these. Alright guys, so here's our two lights all ready to go. They have their plug-in cable attached. Plan is to just put them above these two shuttered windows, and I want to center them to this center line right here in both of them, and then we'll run the cables down the side to a plug and tack the cables to the wall. So it'll be nice and neat and you won't really notice the cables a lot. I'm going to mark the center above each of these windows so that we can put some sinkers into the wall and attach the little mounting brackets on the back of the sconces, and then we'll just attach the sconce and they will be up. So I'm just going to remove this little guy right here. That is what you attach to the wall to make it all stay up. So you just screw out the little screw on the side. There's one on each side, and then pop it up. Okay, so we got this one up, and this one was totally fine. It was relatively easy to put up. This one, however, has been nightmare fuel. It just was not working with me. The sinker was refusing to go into the wall. It would go like halfway in and then just kind of crumble. Issues. So I patched the original hole and we finally got it to work. We're gonna put the light up and then we'll patch any paint that needs to be touched up. We'll be able to run the cable just like we did on the other side so that it's tacked to the wall. We're gonna go ahead and get this light up there. Alright, so I'm just taking these and tucking them inside like that so you can't see it. And that way if we ever do want to hardwire it, we can. And then we'll just put in these little screws on the side. Alright, there she is. And then we can just kind of position it back and forth, left and right, however it needs to be. Tack this down, touch up the paint, and we'll pop in the light bulbs. Alright guys, well that wraps up this week's video. I hope that you enjoyed making some really fun kitchen decor with me this week. I think everything turned out really amazingly. I love how the sconces look over the window, and I'm super happy with the cutting board. I think it's a playful piece to have in your kitchen on display that you can also use. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see all of my videos. I put out new videos every single Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday. Action. But wait. What you do need, a little screw. No, baby, SOS. It fell in the drain.
Oh. Oh.
SOS.
There's the klutz now.
Ew.
Good thing the garbage disposal's over there.
Is it though?
I don't even know what I'm feeling for.
It's a little screw.
A little screw?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's kale.
Ew, kale.
I love my wife. I love my wife. I love my wife. Oh, it's too slippery.
Get it together.